Hello, welcome to lesson 4.2, multiply with 5 and 10. We're on page 143. Our essential question, how can you multiply with 5 and 10? So let's get going. Marcel is making 6 toy banjos, and I always know that I need to box or circle or underline the numbers in my word problems. Marcel is making 6 toy banjos. He needs 5 strings for each banjo. How many strings does he need in all? We're going to use skip counting. We can skip count by 5s until you say 6 numbers. So here's our first number, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. And we'll keep track. Okay, so they wrote 5 for us. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And we're stopping at 30 because we have 6 groups of 5, which equals 30. So Marcel needs 30 strings in all. These questions help us just think about what's happening. How many banjos is Marcel making? I put a box around 6. He's making 6 banjos. I could think about, here's his 6 banjos, right? And how many strings does each banjo have? Each banjo has 5 strings for each. And I could think of, oh yeah, here's my 6 groups of 5, right? That's what that might look like if I were to draw it out. Now, we can also think of another strategy. We could use a number line. Each string is 10 inches long. How many inches of string will Marcel use for each banjo? Okay, so we know we have to remind ourselves that each banjo has 5 strings on each banjo. I'm just going to remember that. So we're going to think one jump equals 10 inches because each string is 10 inches long. And they want us to answer how many inches each banjo needs, not the 6 banjos. So each banjo has 5 strings, and each string is 10 inches. So one string, we jump to 10. And we have to jump 5 jumps. So 5 jumps of 10. So 1 jump of 10, 2 jumps of 10, 3 jumps of 10, 4 jumps of 10, 5 jumps of 10. We had to draw the 5 jumps for the 5 strings, and we jump 10 spaces at a time for the length of each string. So we land on 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. 5 times 10 equals 50. So the numbers 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50 are multiples of 10. When I'm multiplying by 10, I say 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50 as answers to a multiplication problem of 10. With 10 as being a factor, right? So Marcel will use 50 inches of string for each banjo. A multiple of 10 is any product that has 10 as one of its factors. Right, so this jump, this is 10 times 1. 10 is a factor to get us there. And 10, being the product, is a multiple of this problem, right? All right, so what do we notice about the multiples of 10? I notice there's always a 0. And I notice that the tens place is always increasing by 1 number. Okay, here we go. We're going to page 144. Just on the back there. All right, example 2, we're going to use a bar model now. Marcel bought 3 packages of strings. Each packet cost 10 cents. How much did the packages cost in all? And we can see the 3 packages, and they each say 10 cents. So our bar model will be 1 whole bar, that's the whole thing he bought, and each of the packages we break up, and they're each worth 10 cents. So we're thinking that 1 unit is 10 cents. So 3 units is 3 groups of 10 cents, or 3 10-cent units. And so we can record 3 times 10, 10, 20, 30, right? 3, the third multiple of 10 is 30. I'll keep my cent sign there. And so 10 cents plus 10 cents plus 10 cents, you could use repeated addition to think of it as well, is 30 cents. So the packages of string cost 30 cents in all. All right. So we have some different strategies, right? As mathematicians, we're open to using different strategies. Let's look and share and show. How can you use this number line to find 8 times 5? 8, I always think of this as groups of 5, or 8 jumps of 5. So if I'm going to do 8 jumps of 5, I could jump 8 times. Each time is 5 jumps, right? So 5, 10, I've got 1 jump, 2 jumps, 3 jumps, 4 jumps, 5 jumps, 6 jumps, 7 jumps, 8 jumps, and each jump is 5, right? And I've jumped 8 times. So I can jump 5 spaces 8 times, comma, which lands on 40. 8 times 5 equals 40. All right, we could explain how knowing 4 times 5 can help us find 4 times 10. Remember, if we knew 4 times 5, 4 jumps of 5, we could do 4 jumps of 5 twice, because this 5 plus this 5 equals 10, right? So 4 times 10, we can kind of break it up into 4 times 5 plus 4 times 5. And if we look up on our number line again, we could do 4 jumps. And let me change colors for a moment. 4 jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 jumps takes us to 20. So 20 plus 20 equals 40. 4 times 10 equals 40. Right? So sometimes thinking about a smaller problem in half and then double it, we can use that strategy as well. All right, we are not going to do all of these together, but you need to practice all of these. So together, why don't we do, we're going to do number 2, we're going to do number 7, I'm going to just do a diagonal across, and I want you to work on the rest on your own. So 2 jumps of 5, or 2 groups of 5, 5, 10 gets us to 10, right? I could also think of this as 5 plus 5, right? The doubles facts. Down here, 5 times 6. I'm going to think of 5s because they're friendlier than trying to say 5 groups of 6. Counting by 6s is a little harder than counting by 5s. So I'm going to think of 6 groups of 5, which is the same. I can turn that around with the distributive property. So I could do 6 groups of 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, right? I've counted by 5s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, which brought me to 30. 5 times 6 is 30. All right. Now 4 times 5. Hey, we just solved that up there, didn't we? 4 times 5. We knew that's 4 jumps of 5. Brought us to 20. All right, so practice these on your own. Come to the live session and we can go through some others together. And on the on your own part, We will try to get through as much as we can on our own. Give these a try. If you feel comfortable with it, you may go all the way to your homework part, where on page 146A and 146B, I want you to do all of them. These, once you get in the rhythm, it should not take a whole lot of time. Pay a little attention to the problem solving as you're applying it into more of a real life situation. And then on the back, I want you to do all of these as well. Find the product, work on the word problem, and these spiral review questions are really good for keeping all of the hard work you've been doing, growing your brain this year. It keeps all the things we've learned a little fresh, so nothing gets too old and stale in your brain. So practice these as well, and we'll see you at 11 o'clock for our live math session.